Measurement of beauty had always been of the outward appearances, where people say, they can't marry or they can't be with somebody who is not attractive and all of that. But this is how God measures beauty. There are three things that God speaks about. It says your beauty should consist of your true inner self. Good morning. You're welcome to Daily Dose. I bring you word from the Lord. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 4. It says, instead, your beauty should consist of your true inner self, the ageless beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of the greatest value in God's sight. Measurement of beauty had always been of the outward appearances, where people say, they can't marry or they can't be with somebody who is not attractive and all of that. But this is how God measures beauty. There are three things that God speaks about. It says your beauty should consist of your true inner self. The value system that comes out from yourself should be those things that are inside. He said this is what they call the ageless beauty of a gentle and a quiet spirit. Two important things. He says this thing, you must be a gentle and you must have a quiet spirit, which is of the, when the scripture uses the word, is of the greatest value in God's sight, which means God's measurement is now the standard of what we call beauty. So a man comes, and this is why you see a lot of people who say, and it's not just men who want peace of mind, women too deserve peace of mind. And so when you see people who say things like, I want a peace of mind, I don't want somebody who is, all over the place, they are cantankerous. And you see the scripture also even emphasize this in Proverbs, it says it's better to stay on the rooftop than to stay with a contentious woman, a woman who doesn't keep quiet. It's not just a woman thing. I personally believe it's a general thing. All right. And that a man must have a gentle and a quiet spirit. People who are not easily drawn into any form of fight, any form of quarrel, where you can be with them. And it doesn't have to be a conversation. There are certain people that you must always keep talking around them. You can be with people and then they are quiet nature. Even when you do things that, quote and unquote, that looks like disrespecting them, they sort of just keep quiet about the entire conversation. And over time, you will begin to realize that you were the one that probably must have done something wrong, to them. But even when you bring it up, they brush it off. They are quick to forgive. They are not people who hold a record of wrong over people. And you will see, if you meditate on this very deeply, you also now find out that the subject of love is also this subject. Love is patient, love is kind, doesn't keep any record of wrong. That kind of conversation, you will see that when somebody says I love you, they possess exact same attributes and quality. So the way we measure people who are actually beautiful, when you say, and that's why you see some people say that person has a beautiful soul, and they might not necessarily be outwardly pleasing, and even that is also relative in context to the individuals, because most of the things we call beauty are things that have been programmed to us. They are not things that we really truly have tested and trusted on that particular conversation. So somebody likes different people wearing makeup, another person doesn't like it wearing makeup. It is what you have been conditioned to like. It's not something you really like. But the real true beauty that doesn't fade, that doesn't, it doesn't matter whether you are 100 years old, whether you are 20 years old, it doesn't matter. That range doesn't matter. When a person has a meek, a quiet spirit, a gentle spirit, that person is actually beautiful. And it is a value that can never be bought on the market. I hope this has helped you this morning. Until I bring you another episode on the Daily Dose, keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing. Blessings.